Hello, and happy Earth Day! Project Oceanology and Dominion Energy thank you for helping protect our beautiful natural resource Long Island Sound. Does the scene look familiar? Not exactly the view you want for a nice day at the shore. And more recently, you might be familiar with this scene. Both of these are examples of potential marine debris. Marine debris is any human-made solid material that enters waterways, directly through littering or indirectly via rivers, streams, and storm drains. So even if you don't live right on the water, you can help protect Long Island Sound by conducting a watershed cleanup. If you're going to participate in our Earth Day Cleanup Challenge, you'll need to gather a few supplies first. We recommend some work gloves or gardening gloves to protect your hands as you clean up. We also recommend collecting trash in an old bucket as you go along, and then you can sort the trash into the proper receptacles when you're all done. For example, you may find some trash that should not go to the landfill, like electronics, or something that should be recycled. I'll show you some resources to help you if you find something you're not sure how it should be disposed. Since you're going to be cleaning outdoors, you should wear proper clothing for the weather. So sun protective gear if it's bright, or rain protective gear if it's raining. And terrain appropriate footwear will protect your feet from rocks and roots, but also from sharp pieces of marine debris. We also recommend bringing a first aid kit, just in case, plus some water and some snacks. And of course, you'll need your trash tracking tools. We use the CleanSwell app by the Ocean Conservancy. You can just download it onto your mobile device, and I'll give you a quick run through of how to use it. If you want your cleanup and your collection numbers to count towards our goal of 50 cleanups and 50 pounds of trash, register your account with cleanup@oceanology.org and use the password EarthDay. Or if you register with your personal email, you can take a screenshot of your totals after you've finished your cleanup. Okay, when you first open the CleanSwell app on your device, you'll see this screen here. To begin, if you want to participate in our cleanup challenge for Earth Day 2020, we ask that you register with cleanup@oceanology.org. Use the password EarthDay, all lowercase, and hit login. You can create your own CleanSwell email address and registration if you'd rather, and then screenshot your results and email them to us at cleanup@oceanology.org. But when you first log in, it'll ask you to start collecting. So hit that button. It'll auto-generate the date that you're doing your collections. I'm actually practicing the night before I post this, so it's only 4/19. And then you can record how many people are participating. So if you're cleaning with one other member of your household, you'd enter 2 people. And we're encouraging people to come up with group names as well. So we can call ourselves the Watershed Warriors. And we'll be able to create a leaderboard of who's collecting the most trash. For type of cleanup, you can change that if you'd like, but most of us are going to be conducting our cleanups from the land, and then hit Start My Collection. Then you'll come up to this screen. So each of these categories is a type of trash that you might find while cleaning your watershed. So let's say I find a straw. All I need to do is tap the picture of a straw, and it does a little shimmy shake and adds straws. So if I hit it a second time, let's say I found 2 straws next to each other, that would record it right there. And I can keep track of all the different things that I'm finding. Maybe I found a foam container for food, or some fishing line. I can click those things and add them to my account. Now, if I accidentally, like I just did, if I accidentally hit an item I didn't mean to, I have to scroll down to the bottom here and hit the little switch that says remove item, and it turns all my buttons red, and it turns it into sort of subtraction mode. So I can hit 0, I can remove all of these things that I'm collecting. And so then when I'm ready to start adding things back, I'll switch to add item, and the blue is add, the red is subtract. When I've completed my cleanup, I'm going to hit done collecting. So I didn't actually collect anything during our demonstration here, but you can see it'd be easy to do that. I can put a message in the comments if you want to send a message to Project O or to other cleanup teams. It asks you to just verify the information you entered before, and then hit submit my data. And it'll come through, you cleaned. And now it'll tell us a little bit about our cleanup history, and we can come in here and see how our Earth Day challenge is going. How many things can we collect over the course of this week? We also encourage you to share before and after photos, pictures of cool things you find during your cleanups using the hashtag #ProjectOCleanup. If you have questions about Earth Day 2020 or about CleanSwell, you can email us at cleanup@oceanology.org. So why do we collect the data? Well, we found that recording what we find helps engage participants in their environmental stewardship. It's part of a global effort. Seeing how much of a difference we're making can also be motivating. In just half an hour, you might have cleaned 150 pieces of trash from your watershed. Categorizing and cataloging our trash can show where we are in our mission. For example, if we find fewer plastic bags in 2020 than we did in 2015, it might be a sign that our bag tax is working. Or we might be disappointed to discover that nitrile gloves and masks are now finding their way into the ocean. All this data can be used to inform future policy and help citizens feel inspired to change their behaviors too. So here are some resources to help you find out what should be recycled. You might be surprised what can't be recycled in the state of Connecticut. We often have limited recycling centers, and sometimes we have to outsource to other states like Massachusetts. Here are a couple of links. This one is for the Connecticut DEEP on detailed instructions for recycling sort of oddball items you might find while you're cleaning up. And Call to Recycle is a great resource to help you find collection centers for things like batteries and old cell phones. To engage your family in a cleanup, we suggest that you make it sort of fun. Take lots of pictures. Before and afters are really big ones, so you can see how well you've done. Posing, making silly faces as you clean. It's always fun to be wearing gloves and traipsing around. We also like to take pictures of weird things that we find while we clean up. Share all of these pictures with the hashtag #ProjectOCleanup, or you can email them to us at cleanup@oceanology.org. And last but not least, some kids really get into a scavenger hunt. See if your children can find all of these things while cleaning up. Now, due to COVID-19 and coronavirus, Governor Lamont has recommended all people stay at home as much as they can. So to protect our world, we are recommending that you only conduct your cleanup with people in your own household. That can accommodate physical distancing and reduce the spread of COVID-19. We're also recommending that you pick an area that's near your home. It could be just your street or your neighborhood, or it could be a park or beach that's near your home, somewhere that's special to you. We're going to recommend that you call ahead to beaches or check online to make sure that certain locations, parks and beaches, are being closed on a case-by-case basis, and it would be disappointing to show up and find out they're closed. Last but not least, please don't pick up any kinds of hazardous trash. If you find something that needs to be disposed of and you cannot do it safely, you can call the authorities to come and remove that from the environment. So finally, thank you so much for participating in Earth Week 2020.